This is a 1 to 300 scale airport that I built in under an hour. In this video, I will show you 5 easy steps that you can use to build a realistic model airport at a very low cost. There will be no need to buy expensive materials such as terminals and mats that cost over $300. And for this project, I tried to use as few materials as possible. For the base of the airport, you'll need foam board, cardboard, or wood. I use foam board, and you'll also need paint and some brand of paint markers. Step 1, you'll need to start the base. I use foam board. If you're using foam board, make sure to take the paper off or else it'll curl when you paint it. Now here I'm scoring the airport design onto the foam board. If you're using wood or cardboard, you can just draw it with a pencil. Now the reason why I'm scoring it will be revealed in a later step. It's going to be pretty important. Now this design is very simple. It's just one runway, 2 intersections, a taxiway, and a little ramp area. You can make your design as complicated as you wish, or you can make it simple if you don't have a lot of space. It's all up to you. Just make sure to follow the steps in this video. Now let's move on to step 2. This is where you'll need to add the grass. So instead of modeling grass, I'm just going to use paint. You can make it look just as good, and to give it a grassy texture, all you need to do is repeatedly tap the brush on the board and it'll give it a nice texture. And this is what it looks like. It actually looks really good for paint. Now after you complete this step, make sure to fully dry the grass. You can use a hair dryer or any heat blower. If you don't have any of those, just let it sit, because you'll have to put markers over the paint and you don't want to smudge it or anything, because then it'll just get messy. Now if the grass is hanging over in the taxiway, that's okay, because that's a feature at some airports. Next we're going to create the runway, so I'm just going to use black paint, and then I'm going to use the paint markers to actually draw the airport markings. And for the airport markings, I suggest going on Google to make sure they're correct, because they need to be in very specific places to look realistic. Now you'll see that I'm just going to eyeball all these markings, but if you want to use a straight edge, feel free to do so. I already completed the center line markings. All I did was just put a straight edge down the runway and then mark one every inch. And then now I'm doing the threshold markings, also called the piano keys. Now the good thing about this is if you make a mistake, like I did here, all you have to do is paint over it and dry it, and then you're good to mark over it again. So as you can see here, I meant to write 06 instead of just the 6, and then on the side there, some marker accidentally rubbed off from the straight edge, so I had to go over that. Now I can actually put 06, and the runway numbers will be complete. Now remember when I was scoring the runway edges? This is what I was using it for. So as you can see, I'm just dragging the white marker down the scored line, and it automatically keeps it straight, so I can just have a nice white edge on the runway. And this goes the same for the taxiways. All I need to do is just drag a yellow marker in the scored lines, and it keeps it straight for me without having to use a straight edge. That's just a neat little trick you can do. Now also, I highly suggest to use Google to do your taxiway markings, because they are very specific, such as the runway hold position markings, because the dashed lines need to go on the runway side while the solid lines need to go on the taxiway side. You don't want to get those flipped, or you're going to have some air traffic control issues at your airport. Now we just covered the last step, which was to make the taxiway markings. I hope you found this information valuable. We did go over a very simple design on how to build a model airport at a very low cost. The foam board cost me about $1.25, the paint was about $9, and the markers only cost me around $5, so that was less than $20, and then you can use that money towards buying yourself cheap model airplanes. Both 737s in this video were postage stamp airplanes, and I got them off Amazon for around $25, so they're not as expensive as Gemini jets or Skymarks. Now this is the finished product. It looks absolutely amazing, especially for it being done under an hour and for me just eyeballing all the markings. Now there will be more videos in the future about adding more details, but this is just a quick overview. Hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.